everybody's, I got sick. So Daddy's gonna do the, day 3?
Mm-hmm.
Day 3 of Little Miss for me. So it's day 3, but it's Daddy Miss today. He's gonna read a story for us.
Very poorly, but yes.
Very badly. But he's Daddy, so it's okay.
The Elves and the Shoemaker. A shoemaker by no fault of his own had become so poor that at last he had nothing left but one pair of leather for shoes. So in the evening he cut out the shoes which he wished to make in the next morning. And he had good conscience. He lay down in bed, commended himself, and fell asleep. In the morning, after he had said his prayers, and he was just about to sit down to work, the 2 shoes stood quite finished on his table. He was astounded. He knew not what to say. He took the shoes in his hand and observed them closely. They were neatly made. There was no bad stitch in them. It was just as he had intended, a masterpiece. Soon after, a buyer came in, and as the shoes pleased him so well, he paid more than customary, and with the money the shoemaker was able to buy 2 pairs of shoes worth of leather. He cut them out in the night. The next morning was about to set for work with fresh courage, but he need not do so, for when he awoke, they were already made, and the buyers, wanting the shoes, gave him enough for 4 pairs. The following morning, too, he had found 4 pairs made freshly. So it went constantly. When he cut out in the evening, they were finished in the morning. Soon he had an honest independence again, and at last he became a wealthy man. Now it befell that one evening, not long before Christmas, the man had cut out the leather, and he said to his wife, before going to bed, "What think of you if we were to stay up all night, and see what lends these helping hands?" The woman liked the idea, lit a candle, and then hid themselves in the corner of the room, behind some clothes, and watched. When it was midnight, 2 small, clothless men sat down at the shoemaker's table, took all the work that was cut out from the leather, and began their stitching and sewing. Hammering and skillfully, they quickly, with their little fingers, complete the shoes. The shoemaker could not turn away, eyes in astonishment. They did not stop until it was all done, and stood finished on the table, and then ran away quickly. The next morning the woman said, "The little men, they've made us rich. We merely must show our gratitude. They run about so, and have nothing on. It must be so cold. I tell thee what I do. I will make them little shirts, coats, vests, and trousers. Knit both of them a pair of stockings, and do thou too. Make them 2 little pairs of shoes." The man said, "I shall be very glad to do it." And one night, when everything was ready, they laid their presents on a long table instead of the cutout work they normally would do. They concealed themselves as they did before, and at midnight they came bounding in and wanted to get to work at once. But as they did not find leather cut out. All their pretty little articles of clothing had been laid about. They were astonished at first, and then showed intense delight. They dressed themselves with the greatest rapidity, putting their clothes on and singing, "Now we are boys so fine to see, why should we longer clobber be?" They danced and they skipped and they leapt into the chairs and benches. At last they danced out of the doors. From the time forth they came no more. As long as the shoemaker lived, all well with him, and undertaking proposed.